Yeah, another chapter. Chapter 17, JavaScript for Kids for Dummies. This is what's this loop for? So let me do this here. Right. For loops are useful for when you know in advance how many times you do something. You can use a for loop to count to 10 or to count to 1 million. It's all the same to JavaScript. In this chapter, we look for one of the most popular types of loops in JavaScript, the for loop. We use for loops to create our own weather forecasting app. The for loop is the most commonly used type of loop in JavaScript. Here's a sample for loop that prints out the words hello JavaScript 500 times. The JavaScript console. A for variable counter equals 0. Counter 500 is greater than counter. So basically, this is a for loop, right? Okay. So here's the for loop. Yeah. So that's a for loop, and then this is how the code really looks like on JavaScript console. This isn't the most exciting use for a loop, but you can certainly see that used to use a loop, then would be type on console.log statements. 3 parts of the for log. The for log is made up of 3 different statements. Initialization. The initialization statement declares a variable that the loop will use to keep track of how long it has been looping. Condition a Boolean expression to be evaluated with each iteration of the loop. Right? Final expression. An expression to be evaluated after each loop iteration. Right. So basically, here's our hello JavaScript loop works. A new variable, in this case count, is initiated with the value of 0. Test is done to check whether count is less than 500. If it is, the statements inside the loop will run. In this case, the console.log statement will print out hello JavaScript final expression increments as 1 to the counter variable. The condition statement is evaluated again to determine whether the counter is less than 500. If so, the statements inside the loop are executed again. Final expression increments the counter against the 2 and 3 keep running until the condition counter at 500 squared becomes no longer true. Running them using for loops. One very useful thing about for loops that you can use the counter inside the for loop, change the output statements inside the loop. Most basic example, this technique is to use the for loop to count. So here you go, for loop variable I is 10. I is greater than 0. Therefore, for I alert blast off. So this is an alert prompt. So as soon as the event listener has been executed, this alert prompt will be initiated in the web browser. So it's alert blast off. Variable I equals 10. Right? I equals 10. I greater than 0. Yeah. Outputting array values with 4. Where my friends Agatha, Agnes, Jermaine, and Jack. For I equals 0, then so my friend's length greater than I plus plus alert my friends plus is my friend. To use a for loop to output all the values in the array, you just use the length property of the array to find out how many elements in the array and use that to perform the loop that same number of times. Inside the loop, you use the counter variable I in this case to output the corresponding array element. We know how to output array elements. You can do all sorts of things with for loops. For example, in the next section, we use a for loop to provide a randomized 5-day weather forecast. According to anytime USA, we have saying here, if you don't let the weather wait 5 minutes, you need that. So basically, yeah, we're going to math random, just the for loop here. It's for loop. It's not like an else if loop, it's a for loop. For variation I equals 0. So day's length is greater than I. Right, so variable weather today, or weather math floor, math random, times our weather length, right? A variable temp today, weather floor, math random times max temp, minus minimal temp plus min temp, right? So today's temperature with math floor, right? So it's the math floor. So this returns the greatest integer less than or equal to its numeric argument. Returns pseudo random number to 0 and 1, the max temp. So this is basically the max temp minus the minimum temp plus the min temp, right? So this is also sourcing 5-day weather in HTML. With today, that's what's being sourced. As you can see, it says field element ID. So let's go to our HTML. We can see the div identification value is 5-day weather. Yeah, that's been sourced out there. Right, weather today plus bracket, opening closing tags, forecast for days I with today, and temperature day plus degrees. Right, so the function is called math.random. Every time you run the math random function, it creates a random decimal number between 0 and 1. Using the random value, you can do all sorts of things that are necessary for game programming, including adding elements of surprise to the movement of monsters, randomly selecting the elements from arrays to create crazy weather forecasts. Right, so a random number alert. So this alert math random shows the random number. Stephen J's riddle, and we now work on that. If you want a random number between 0 and 10, you multiply the random number by 11 like this. So let math random times by 11. Once you remove the decimal numbers from the zone, you can use the math flow function like this. Math flow, math random. On a random number between 10,000, you multiply the random value by the result of subtracting the smallest number from the largest number, and then adding the smallest number to that result like this. Right. Basically, that's what we're dealing with here. Right, so that's the alert value. Then for my friends Agatha, Agnes, Jermaine, Jack, variable random friend, math floor, math random, times my friends dot length. So basically, yeah, we take the arrays in the HTML plane, create a div element ID of 5-day weather like this. Right, in the JavaScript pane, start out by creating an array, days of the week, variable days. Create a second array called weather. The elements in this array should be different types of weather. Feel free to put in as many different types of weather as you can think of. Here's our list for weather. Two variables, min temp, max temp to hold the minimum maximum temperatures on the random weather program to output here our numbers, min temp and max temp. New function called generate weather. In the first line, the body of the function start a for loop that will loop through each of the days of the week. Create a new variable with each day that will get a random element from the weather array. A new variable temp day that will get a random temperature between the values of your min temp and max temp. Add a document get element by ID dot inner HTML. Right? If ID days class with each day forecast for. Then here's the finished JavaScript code. As you can see, here's my finished one. This one there. So you got my comments there, right? Comments for my for loop, which is the main focus. So the main focus here is the for loop. It's a function in which creates an unlimited number of arrays, elements within an array, right? Unlimited amount of elements in an array. That's what creates, right? So starting the app, right? Create a run CSS plane to style each of the apps the same using this code. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with 18 height, 200px float, left border 1px, south black padding 2px, sans serif 12px. This row creates border, a width and height, font family, some padding each of the days of the week. Also set the float property equal to left in order to make all the day by side rather than stacked. For several different types of weather using this code. You have spaces in the class attributes such as the partly sunny and partly cloudy. Two words are treated as separate class attributes from elements of the class value. Partly cloudy will be styled using CSS associated with cloudy. An element of the CSS value of partly sunny will be styled using the CSS associated with sunny. Click updates and CSS base to save your work. Zone plain updates and displays your forecast in a new more attractive format shown in figure 17.8. So as you can see here, so take a quick look at the variables and the for loops and the function. When they, right, so here for your HTML, right, with HTML, make sure it looks like this, right? That's how you do it. So shift, exclamation mark, enter, then this will pop in. Then within your body, you're gonna extract 5-day weather, then obviously you're gonna source out your chapter 17. You're gonna source it out, right? Source, right? Yeah. Okay. Voila. There you go. As you can see here. There you have it. So the for loop is doing its thing. Right, so the for loop is giving you different values, right? Different values are different types of values. That's what the for loop is giving, different types of values, different stuff. Thank you very much for your undivided attention. I appreciate it, and yeah, thank you very much for undivided attention.